If you could just take a moment to visualize your dream life, what do you see? Do you see yourself traveling around the world, moving into your dream house, spending freely without any guilt? The secret to achieving all these is not winning the lottery, but is to set financial goals. It's as simple as that. Hi, I'm Cynthia. I'm a former financial advisor and hedge fund analyst. In today's video, I will show you how to set your own financial goal and achieve them. If you look around people in your life who have achieved some level of financial success, they're likely to be the ones who have clear goals, plans, and even created a system for their finances. People who have a clear goal are more likely to stay motivated because a goal can actually provide a clear direction and endpoint so that we know what exactly we're working toward. I will break down today's video into 5 parts: the smarter system for financial goal setting, 2 ways that will help you identify your financial goal clearly, and how to prioritize them, how to make plans to achieve them, and ways to stay motivated. We are all very familiar with setting SMART goals. The smarter system for financial goal setting is by adding evaluation and reward into the process to make sure that we stay on track and motivated. The first way that will help you identify your financial goal is more like the conventional way in financial planning, that we set goals according to different stage of life that we're in. They're usually your young or early adulthood, mid-age adulthood, or senior adulthood. But because everyone's life is at a different pace, we not necessarily do certain things at a certain age. So we further break this down into 4 stages according to life events. They are when you are single, when you're in a relationship, common law or married with no children, and when you have children, and lastly, after your children go to college or retirement. Your income level, how you prioritize your spending, and your goals will vary in these stages. Here are some financial goals to consider at different stage of your life. When you are single, at this stage, you may only need to pay for your own cost of living and there is less financial stress. Some financial goals to consider are: pay off your student loans, invest in yourself for personal development, start saving for retirement by participating in your country's retirement pension, save for a wedding if you do decide to get married someday, save for a down payment for a house or vehicle if you do decide on auto and home ownership. When you're in a relationship but have no kids. Some of the common financial goals in this stage include upgrading to a bigger living space. You may also consider purchase a house or a car for the household, so you will need down payment and mortgage payment. Save up for your kids if you do plan on having children, and also save up for your own retirement. The third stage, when your baby comes, there will be a huge increase in our expense in this stage of our life because now we have to spend on childcare and education. Some of the common financial goals include change to a bigger living space, save up for children's college, and your own retirement. This is the stage that you will experience highest financial stress in your life. And lastly, after your children go to college and retirement. At this stage, we'll just focus back on our own life. Some of the financial goals include our own healthcare, leisure, retirement, succession planning if you are planning on passing down your legacy to your children. The conventional way in setting your financial goals is common, but not everyone will follow this path. So that's why we have a second approach, is to first identify your core values. How would you define the purpose and meaning of your life? So there is this documentary in the US that interviewed people in their hundreds. So basically there are people who live a very long life and now they are at above age 100. So the host asked them,
"Hey, you guys live such a long life. How do you feel about it?"
Very surprisingly, the most popular answer among this group is regret. You think that they live such a long life that they would have done a lot of stuff, but what really caught them are the things they regret not doing. So back to this question, one way that will help you think deeply is to list out all the experience that you want to have before you die. You will be amazed how quickly time goes by, and if you want to live your life with no regrets, you need to plan ahead. Likely, you will need both approaches to identify your financial goals, even though if you do decide not to get married and have children, but you will still need to save up for retirement and healthcare. I will share my financial goals with you if that helps you to get a better picture. I do plan on getting married and having children one day, so my financial goals would include having a wedding, owning a dream house, a car, childcare and education, my children's college, and give money for my children to spend freely after they finish college, and my retirement. I also like adventures and want to get the most out of my life, and this could be your bucket list. So these are the experience I want to have. Traveling to Scandinavia and Japan and live there for a few months. Live in Hawaii, falling in love with someone. Film a documentary on how China ends extreme poverty in rural area. I want to take my children on a gap year from school around the age 10 so we can travel around the world and they can learn on the journey. And these are all other experiences I want to get out in my life. So usually financial stress is a key factor stopping us from doing the things that we want. If we do want to live a life with no regrets, all we need to do is plan ahead. So with all these goals, how can we prioritize them? There's no right answer to this question. That will depend on which goals are more important to you and which ones are you willing to trade off for another. But you can first group them into a different time period. They are your short-term goals happening within 3 years and your midterm goals which will happen in between 4 to 10 years. And they are your long-term goals which will happen 10 years after. If I'm grouping all my goals into a different time period, I know in the next 3 years, my financial goals would include traveling to the Scandinavia, plan for a wedding, plan some hiking trips. So in the short term, I have these goals to accomplish while saving for my midterm and long-term goals. And now let's make some plan for these goals. We can break this process down into 6 steps. The first step is to know your financial position. And second, make your goals smart. Make investment and saving plans. Evaluate on an annual basis. Adjust your plan if necessary. And lastly, your goal accomplished. I will walk you through this process with 2 examples. The first one will be on retirement. It's more general. And the second one will be more personal. It's my example of saving up for my Scandinavian trip. And so that you can have an idea of how to do the math on your own. And let's first look into the first example for retirement planning. And the first step is always to have a very good understanding of my financial position. Let's say I'm able to save $3,000 each month and I already have $72,000 saved up for my retirement. My goal is to retire at the age of 60 with no debts. I will withdraw 70% of my current income for retirement, and that is $84,000 per year. According to the 4% rule, I will need $2.1 million for my retirement, and this is my SMART goal. My plan is to continue to save $3,000 per month and reinvest it in a rate of return for 5% each year. If I evaluate my current saving plans via my goal using the Vanguard retirement calculator, if I keep my current saving rates, it shows that I will fall short by almost $2,000 each month after retirement. If we are not on track of our goals, we then need to look into factors that are affecting our retirement. In this case, they are age of retirement, current income, current saving, rate of return on my savings, and my retirement expense. My options now are I can choose to retire at a later age, let's say at 65 instead of 60, get extra income by doing side hustles or getting a raise, increase current saving by cutting expense, increase the rate of return by taking higher risk in my investment, or lower my retirement expense. So after assessing my plans, I will make some adjustment accordingly. I choose to increase my income by doing a side hustle and also increase my rate of return by taking a little more risk. And the second example I'm going to give you here is how I'm going to plan my trip to Scandinavia. Assume this is my financial position and I currently have no saving for my Scandinavian trip yet. My goal is to spend 1 month vacation in Scandinavia, including in the following places. And my expected cost would be $7,000 to $10,000, and I hope that it will happen within 3 years. So my plan is to save $200 each month towards this dream account. That will be $7,200 in 3 years, and that has not yet considered interest earned on this saving. And it seems I'm able to make this goal happen within 3 years, but this trip will be on a very tight budget. I think I'll just keep my current saving plan and I will just spend on a very tight budget or shorten my time of staying. One way that I found keep me motivated is visualization. Making myself a vision board of all my goals and looking at it every day is a very good strategy. You can find a lot of tutorial on how to create your own vision board on YouTube. And many YouTubers share their experience by how creating a vision board can actually help them to achieve a lot of goals. And the last way to keep yourself motivated is to reward yourself if you accomplish your goal for the year. At the end of each year, I will do an overall review on my finances, including my saving, investment, and insurance. So if I have accomplished the goal, the saving goals and investment goal for that year, I will treat myself something that I wanted to have for a long time. Because the psychology behind motivation, as Ali Adab mentioned in one of his videos, it's not self-discipline, but instead it's joy. That's all for today's video. If you have any thoughts on how to set your financial goals, feel free to leave a comment. I will read them. And thanks a lot for your time, and I will see you next time.